Just want to say again, thanks, Ken. Been really enjoying my record cleaner. Getting a lot of these old records sounding as good as they've sounded in probably decades. It's good to see you all today. Going my Jazz Shepard mane out. I spent a lot of my life with long hair. Thinking about doing it again. We'll see how it goes. I haven't had it cut since early March. And I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. So I kind of came to this realization the other day that times when people get most excited about what I say and what I do is when I do kind of just a conscious flow, when I'm just riffing. And I want to coin that right now, Shepard Speak. And sometimes the Shepard speaks. And just so y'all know, it's speaking through me and coming from me. It's just times it just, you don't even have control of the steering wheel, and yet you're more in control than you've really ever been. It's like, okay, it's just kind of coming through me right now. Think of me as a translator, I guess. But Shepard Speak is kind of a clever little name to talk about, to refer to those episodes where I'm just stream of thought. And there's some episodes where I almost get bogged down trying to give details and information and dates and times and places. And that stuff's nice to know, and sometimes you need to do that. You know, sometimes it's nice to have that tableau of their environment and their experience. And so it's important to do that, especially on a biography episode. I gotta give you some background, it's important. But the episodes where I just kind of riff, throw grabbers, for example, shit just comes out. I'm just telling you about how I feel, and I can do that all day, you know. So it's Throw Grabbers 4 today. My friend Jean de Jazz told me that on my Ray Bryant episode yesterday that this is a song that's always kind of grabbed his throat. And the blues played here by Mr. Ray Bryant is pretty fantastic. I gotta give it to you, Jean. Sunny Side Up with Gillespie and Rollins, 82-62, so probably 58-59 with the Verve label. Three giants, without question. You know, three real giants. And Rollins is the kid of that group. You know, Rollins, he might be the best known to today's record buyer, but Gillespie and Stitt, they got some deep roots, you know. But you see the hammer of that piano, that blues? That's Jean de Jazz's share with me for what he thought was a real throw grabber. And I wanted to share with y'all. So I'm going to dig into my own throw grabbers here now. But no question, John, that's fantastic. Now this, there's not really rules to the words that describe this. It's really insane. I wish, in fact, you all should put this on in some headphones. And if you listen to some of the movements, some of the counter movements happening. This is Benny Goodman, of course. Sing, sing, sing. Now, this is live from Carnegie Hall. And I'm not sure who does the arrangement on this one. Is it still Fletcher Henderson by this time? I'm not sure. But this Sing, Sing, Sing is insane. And it's probably 6-7 minutes long. And it's actually something that reminds me of some modern music, dubstep, with some of its swells and it's so the movement of it. It's really sick, and it really needs to be heard loud. It's one of the great swing songs I've ever heard. It's got so many great little subplots and sub movements. Drums just rock. It's dance music of the highest order. It's ahead of its time. It's exciting. And we're taking these instruments and giving them a life they've never lived before. If one gets the chance, one should really sit back and listen to that whole song. There's so many fantastic swells, diminuendos, crescendos, obligatos. Just, it does all these fantastic musical things. It's got minimalism at times, the full force of an orchestra at times. It's got the Count Basie spatial recognition, so it's always swinging fucking hard. Harry James on this, Krupa's on this, Teddy Wilson. I'm not sure if every song this is from the same concert. But Ann Richard bought this in March of 1959. Thank you, Ann. Great example of early Columbia jazz, though. Columbia in the LP era was, like I said, putting out old jazz. This is probably 56 or 7 that comes out at number 820 in Columbia's discography. But this is from probably 1938, if I recall. It's really, really outstanding. There's a lot of great stuff on that. But Sing, 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 if you actually have a chance even to hear it on a digital copy and just turn it up real loud, it's, because I think, I don't know, it just always blows me away. Always blows me away. Next we're going to talk about Benny Green and Gene Ammons. And there's some shit on this track. Music I just never done. A lot of the things jazz did. It's so cool. This early VJ, I was actually digging this out for my Patreon label debut series on my Jazz Journal magazine. And it's the first VJ jazz record. And Benny Green's great on this. Gene Ammons is great on this. Fred Foster Flanagan, Al Heath. It's a great record. It really cooks, swinging, hard-driven blues. But what's really going to grab your throat is after Benny Green, there's Ammons. We're going to come to Nat Adderley's part. And I was listening to this the other day, and Nat Adderley come in, and he choked me. Choked the shit out of me. And it's one of those things where I wasn't even paying attention. I was preparing some stuff for an episode, and I'm like, oh, there's Nat. Nat's doing his thing. But he's about to do some shit here. Hold up. That's some clean shit. That's the rhythmic shit. Nat Adderley quietly creeps in there with the Booker Littles and the Freddie Hubbards and Clifford Browns even as the guy that can really play crystal clean rhythmic fire at tempo. You know, even the Birds and the Morgans at tempo, you lose some dexterity, you lose some clarity, some tonal center. You're not always going to enunciate. And guys like Hubbard and Clifford Brown, Booker Little, they don't miss. And Nat Adderley is quietly sneaking into the bunch. And it's quite frequent I'll be listening to an Nat Adderley session, and often as a sideman too, because he does a lot of side work. And I probably hear Nat more as a sideman than I do as a leader. And he's grabbed my attention so many times. Nat's a bad boy. He deserves more credit than he gets. Throat grabber number 3 is that. Gorgeous. It's absolutely perfect. And some of Paul Chambers' tone in the background. This is really about Paul and Miles here. And that must be John softly in the background, giving some nice pastels. Just kind of softly and gently giving you some little sounds. Miles was great for John because John had to wear the bit at times. And not to say that Miles didn't let John go, because John certainly, as Miles said, never shuts up. You know, he'll go until you put a boot in his ass. But there's also times when Miles is playing and John's just doing minimalist, respectful, cohesive stuff. And sometimes when you're a stallion like John Coltrane was, it takes another equally big alpha for you to be cohesive. You know, I don't think McCoy got enough space at times in the Great Quartet, and it's probably partly, I think, why he eventually leaves in, 65. The band had gone so many different ways by that point anyway, but this is beautiful, and the whole record's great. It's the first record that they do on Columbia. Now this right here, speaking of Paul Chambers, that's some bowed double bass, and then Kenny Burrell is sprinkling magical dust. It's so fucking beautiful. Hank Jones and Art Taylor round up this session, and I gotta say, this whole record, Dear Old Stockholm, is great. Chasing the Bird's fantastic, but this song's always just kind of giving me that sacred, hallowed ground, St. James Infirmary, bit of a grim death march. And Kenny's just color. Kenny's just that little bit of that's why we do it. Different tempo here. pretty much Coltrane and Art Taylor. I think the piano and bass comes in a little bit later here, but Countdown, Giant Steps, Spiral, the title track, Cousin Mary, Saida, Mr. PC. It's the whole record really, but this track's like 2 minutes 20 seconds long, and there's Flanagan comping in. But it takes Flanagan like that long to kind of think, okay, all right, okay, that's what we're doing. Fair enough. It's aggressive as Seasons in the Abyss. Blood Red. Now, one of the greatest tracks ever. And again, Blue Note consistently, I don't listen to it for a few days. I put it back on. Kenny Drew's that undercurrent. You feel it? And then Hubbard and Mobley. First of all, Louis Hayes and Sam Jones on this are out of control. Kenny Drew's that the undercurrent, you can feel it. And then the horns are going the opposite direction, it feels like. And Mobley, I've said before, is one of those guys that's going to be impressed on by who he's playing with. And when he plays with Hubbard, there's a fire in Mobley we don't rarely ever see. And Mobley's just breathing it here. This is quietly one of the greatest songs in the Blue Note discography. And there's a lot of great tracks. But the rhythm section here is so on fire. Drew was doing that just fantastic thing. And then after Mobley takes fire upon fire, Hubbard. It's so much. This is not music that comes to people's minds. It's insane. You're moved to smile by the dexterity of it. See what I'm saying? Just the physical capability of doing it and finding that perfect interval and that rhythmic compulsion that's just machine-like. Hubbard might have robot parts on the inside. He might be Data from Star Trek. Because this motherfucker dude does shit that... And his tone's so impeccable. He makes a lot of this shit sound way too easy. Way too easy. And it's not. Nothing about it's easy. And the trumpet's probably the hardest instrument to play. There goes Kenny. There goes Kenny. You know. Again, switching gears here. Throat grabbers are probably going to often be Blue Note heavy because as vast as my collection's gotten over the years, I had the Blue Note discography 10, 12 years ago, and I've been listening to it that whole time, filling in all the other labels. And so I know it really well comparatively. Stan the Man Turrentine is kind of the next generation of Dexter Gordon. He's not going to ever do avant-garde. He doesn't want to hear nothing about free. He wants to play the blues like a hungry man. He wants to play soul. He wants to play jazz. And here's with the three sounds. And honestly, they have the four of them together. Gene Harris actually is fantastic on this as well. But will it weep for me? Will it please weep for me? The call and response of the church. The pastor's saying this, and the choir's going to say, Pastor, choir, pastor. There's that choir. It's church. And all Gene's doing is saying, I got your amen right here, Turntine. I got you. And Stan the Man Turntine is really underappreciated by today's music collectors, man. He does so many incredible records at Blue Note. Even the CTI stuff is fantastic. If you can't feel this grab you by the throat, and it's a gentle grab, but those can be the most stimulating. If you know what I'm saying. We're gonna switch to a little thunder now. And it's almost signature Wayne Shorter. And Blakey's just incredible on this track. Some of his fills towards the end of the song just kick you in the balls. Shorter loves that slightly dissonant shape. The whole thing will kind of twist. He's very shape-driven with how he shapes his horns. And then he comes in with the guts. And he's got a lot of gut here. Hair's sticking. You can hear he's something else again. It's been a hot-ass week and a half. No sign of let up. But we all right. Shorter is just got that propulsion. You know, it's fantastic. And then Fuller takes a great break here. And I dig Fuller's part as well. But once again, who that? Here comes Freddie Hubbard again. Watch this. He's giving Wayne a little bit of dissonance in there. I got you, Wayne. I got a balloon note for you. And Blakey's is back there. Come on now, kids. That's right. You're doing it right. Look at that man. He's got an eye on you. He's making sure that you don't ever let up for a second on that funk. You better bring it. Watch him and Blakey here. It's high level octane. then Cedar Walton kind of takes it home. But this iteration of the Jazz Messengers with Hubbard, with Fuller, Shorter, Walton, Jamie Merritt, and Thunder Blakey, it's special ground. It's special ground. And honestly, there's few other groups in jazz that have the propulsion and the just physical resistance that Blakey-led groups have. There's a slow grabbing over Tina Brooks. Just got this record not that long ago. And first time I heard it, I was listening to The Way You Look Tonight. And Clark, Watkins, Blakey, there's some moments on this that I was just like, wow. And again, this is something that Blue Note sat on. They have a repeated session after session that sits in the vaults. Tina Brooks. There's parts here where Watkins and Morgan it's hard to really kind of compare the quality and just the sheer amount of great hard driving bop that Blue Note does. And I'd be willing to argue that if you're a hard bop guy, 75% of the hard bop canon is Blue Note. And of course, Clifford Brown, Ebersy, Max Roach, to me that's kind of the beginnings of hard bop in a lot of ways. And there's definitely some stuff at Prestige, but there's no question that there's a level to what's happening at Blue Note that's different level. But that being said, this is Dave Burns, a Chicago guy. He's got an interesting group here on the Vanguard label. Al Gray, the great Count Basie plunger trombonist, on this track. This is what we're here for. But Herman Wright, the bass player, is outstanding. Harold Mabur on the piano is great. Billy Mitchell's great. Bobby Hutcherson's on this. There's some really fantastic playing on this record. But this version of Now Ain't It, I guess it's a Melba Liston song, Melba Liston track. It's fantastic. I'm going to show you some things here. Speaking of those minor chords and the death marches at St. James Infirmary, it's got that same Black Tuesday. What just happened? What do you even fucking say? Al Gray with that plunger, it makes me think of the guitar player Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. Some of the sounds he makes with the guitar, but you're like, a guitar just did that? Al Gray's doing things that a lot of microchip processing, computer making machine things couldn't make. And he came up with, in the process of this, 17 different tones, bended notes, muted. What the fuck? I don't know if you're even hearing that. I hope you're hearing that. Because what Al Gray is doing right there, it's a level of genius. But he just sustained and held that note and warbled around with it. Now ain't it? And there comes Bobby Hutcherson. But it's really that Al Gray that you need to write home about. Floored me every time. This is Booker Ervin, and that was almost another track I was going to take from this, but I dig Richard Davis bass on this track so much. It's called Basics, and it's Bass IX, Basics. It's a longer track. It's just a quartet on this number. Booker Ervin, Jackie Byard, Richard Davis, and Alan Dawson on the drums. Jazz does things, man. There's some avant-garde in that, yet it's still got an eccentric dance to it. You could kind of modern dance to it and still find a groove and a rhythm in there. So it's not going so far out that it's gonna make you fall over. But Byard and Richard Davis are doing some really interesting things. And then all of a sudden it just changes. And now we're going more straight blues here. And Byard's just like, okay, my turn. And then of course Booker has a wonderful it gets quite frenetic at points. Of course, this is like 67, probably 66. So Coltrane door for just about anybody and anything. And so there's Booker Ervin going through that door saying, I'm curious. Let me see what I can get out of myself. And then we're going to end up with this. And this is just so great. Bob James. The pattern. The electric piano he's playing there. Probably a Hammond piano or something. It's got these kind of CGI crescendos here. Man, I played this in a lot of DJ gigs, man. And you could just be sitting there drinking some rosé, having a cognac, having a Chardonnay, and hear this in the background, and you're like, oh, this feels good. This guy knows what he's doing. And they do these kind of swells, but then they'll break it back down to this. If people bitch about CTI, it's doing something different. It ain't doing what you think jazz is. It's doing a whole different thing. You know, if you into avant-garde, and if you into screeching shit, and if you into, you know, all the edges. But if you like production, if you like something that your friends and family are gonna be like, oh, this is cool, what is it? And the cool thing about CTI is you can have people over, put a CTI record on the background, and you only might notice it once in a while, depending on how loud you're playing it. But there's some great musicianship happening in there. The bass line, man. The guitar. That's Count Basie's riffing though. That's the space. That's the James Brown effect. It's so connected to black rhythm and music. If it doesn't have the blues and Basie and James Brown, it's not black music. And people say, how can you call something not jazz? Jazz has certain elements that are very black. The sexual groove of this music is the point of all of it. We're trying to fuck today because everything else sucks. Life is bullshit. Give me some nook. You know what I mean? And that's what it kind of comes down to. And if you live in a pampered glass castle and you have hand servants, darling, you got time for some fancy, sophisticated, overly written, diagnostic shit. But if you're just trying to get some fuck on, you gotta keep that groove simple. Don't make me fall out of it. Because you make me fall out of the pussy, I'm gonna be upset. If you make me fall out of the dance and lose my chemistry with the broad I'm trying to get with, because you went somewhere so intellectual, because you so great, you fucked up my shit. Fuck you. People don't want that. People want you to keep their shit. As a DJ, I got that all the time. You don't fuck my shit up. Thank you. I got messages saying, yo bro, I gotta give you an assist on the pussy I got tonight. Because you played the shit that got me home with it. You played the shit that got me dancing, loosened her up, she had a good time. It stayed comfortable and fun the whole night. Next thing you know, we swooching in the car, and she's like, can you come back to your place? I got the assist card dozens of times. Brothers actually messaged me and said that. But they'll also say, don't fuck up my shit. If I got some smooth on, and I'm doing my roll here, and you go somewhere left field, they're like, man, nah. So CTI still got that. That's what makes it jazz. R&B, rhythm and blues, the whole thing is about that. I'm just gonna end you with this. It's not necessarily a throat grabber, but the first time I heard Toots Thielemans play that harmonica in a jazz setting, I'm not gonna say it grabbed my throat, but it did grab me by the ear and taught me something. That you can play the blues on any damn thing. You can play the blues. And the blues ain't about an instrument. It's about a mentality. It's about a place and a space. And jazz has no limitations in terms of what you can present jazz on. So I enjoy this Throat Grabber series. This has been Throat Grabbers 4. Remember, Shepard Speak is that terminology I want to use for when the stream of thought just kind of happens. Pepper Adams. What a great group they throw here with them on Riverside. Pepper Adams, Kenny Drew, Wilbur Ware, and Art Taylor. Jean Toots Thielemans, he's also a great guitar player. You know, I kind of forgot that he did that as well. But fun records. Freddie Hubbard keeps coming up, as does Clifford Brown. And to be fair, trumpet, because of its ferocity, its brightness, its viscosity, trumpet is probably the one thing that can by the most grab you by the throat and be like, yo, motherfucker, listen to what I gotta say. So when you bring trumpet with any kind of intensity and great dexterity, it can make your ears go, huh? What was that? You know? So that's something I kind of noticed doing these throat grabbers, is that it is trumpet that seems to kind of grab my ear in the most intense ways. And other players can do it on any instrument. You know, bass players can do it. Richard Davis did today. Earlier bass player, Paul Chambers on his bowing. There's different things that can grab your throat. But that certain one that's really kind of a raw grabbing, that seems to be trumpet territory. You know, the sax can do it once in a while, trombone can do it once in a while. And so even a great melody by a clarinet can be like, oh shit, damn. But appreciate you all. Check out my Patreon page if you haven't. Please subscribe and donate if you can. Help me keep this channel going. The wife says I need to make some money. I gotta go back to work. So love y'all. Be all safe. Have a great weekend. Happy July 4th to all my American friends. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Peace.